Mother Night. Kurt Vonnegut. Yeah. Kurt Vonnegut wrote a story called Mother Night. I think that's where I learned Zuvacha. Watchtower. Leichentrager Zuvacha. It's been a long time since I read this story, and I only read it, so I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, because every time I meet a German native and I say Leichentrager Zuvacha, they look at me like, what the fuck? And what it means is corpse carrier to the Watchtower. Kurt Vonnegut talked about that in his book. I think that's right. No. That was from Viktor Frankl's The Meaning of Man. Viktor Frankl, Dr. Viktor Frankl. He writes that book. I read it a couple times, but I could never remember the name of it. That's where it is. One or the other. But in Vonnegut's movie book, Mother Night, and then I saw the movie. It's got Nick Nolte plays the guy. Nick Nolte in the movie, he plays the guy that was a spy in Nazi Germany, just like they had that crazy woman in Japan. What's her name? That they talk about. She would tell all the soldiers, "Oh, you're going to die. You go home. Your mother misses you," and shit like that, you know. Well, Nick Nolte's character in Mother Night was a guy that was a radio show guy in Nazi Germany at the time of World War II. He was an American. Everybody knew it. And they fucking loved him because he fucking said it the way it was. And he said shit to the point that the whole country was riled up, and that fucking thing went right through the way these fucking people that believed him wanted it to. And, well, as it turns out, he was an American spy, and they would give him scripts to read. He would say what he was going to talk about, and they'd write scripts, but they had like an enigma type of thing. They had it crypted. Yeah. Words are slipping me now. It's been a while since I spoke in public. It was encrypted so that the people that were listening on the United States side of the damn newscast, where they were picking up radio relay, it was telling them what was going on the inner circle and shit like that. It told what was going on behind the lines and in the war. It was giving, they were able to write down the bits that were jump outs that they knew that were written, they knew a way. And so he was passing information for the war cause, and he was like one of the greatest heroes ever, unknown in World War II, because as it turns out, nobody ever fucking gave him the credit he deserved. He was seen by U.S. citizens when he was back in the United States growing old. They would hate him if they recognized him, if they knew who he was. And he was seen by the enemy that was moved into the United States that would come looking for him. He got the love from them that he didn't want. nobody ever knew really what he was. And he caused a big problem, and supposedly it solved everything. But maybe he's just a stepping stone. I'm not telling you this is a true story. It's Kurt Vonnegut. Makes perfect sense. And isn't it funny how sometimes life imitates art? Now you've got, because maybe they could have done it another way, they found us here so they could get away from being persecuted where they were, and they found their hero, this guy that just didn't want it. What about Tucker Carlson? What if he's one of these spies? I mean, it seems pretty obvious from people that talk about him that he doesn't believe any of the shit he says, but he gets up there on TV and he's very convincing, I guess. He's convincing. He's one of these fucking people, you look at him and you see, this guy is gonna fool a lot of fucking people. But what if, and we've already seen him turn on one side, he's still trying to rile people up. What if he is just sending communications to the Democratic Party about what's going on in the inside? Because as far as they know, he's on the inner circle. The only way you can be on the inner circle is if you know you're in trouble when the time comes. He is sharing shit, possibly, with the Democrats about what's going on in the inner circle. And he's ratting them all out because he wants to be king. What if him riling everybody up like this, well, that's just part of him setting the stage for him to be king. Sometimes you can't trust the criminal standing next to you. There really is no honor among thieves. If you could have honor among thieves, then thieves would be decent people.